for you today. I'm very excited to dive into this with you guys. Let's get started talking about the fantasy football version of Cain and Abel here, me against Tony Jr. And basically, I'm saying that because my fantasy team is going to bash Tony's over the head with a rock until they're dead. This is going to be just an absolutely horrific mauling. One of the biggest projected landslides since Trump beat Kamala a few weeks back. This is going to be complete and total destruction. I'm talking, I don't know if Tony has one player I'm worried about. I'll tell you, I'm certainly not worried about, and that is Jerry Jeudy tonight against the Pittsburgh Steelers. In fact, Jeudy popped off last week, was his only game of the season over 10 fantasy points. In fact, he hadn't even hit 9 in any game other than that. And now he doesn't have a playable matchup for the rest of the year. So, Tony, you should probably just start Rome Odunze. That's probably who I would start. He's a smash play this week, but I don't see him on your team anymore. Huh. Probably would have held on to Rome Odunze and maybe started him this week. I'm looking at Jared Goff's going to have a big game against the Colts. He will. But unfortunately for you, most of that production is going to the sun god, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Jalen Hurts will outscore Goff easily, by the way. DK Metcalf bounces back against the Cardinals this week. Malik Neighbors. Man, I'm excited about Malik Neighbors with Tommy Cutlets at QB. And I know you guys are hyped to see Tommy Cutlets as well. Just serving up touchdowns to Malik Neighbors left and right. But let's go back to Tony real quick. Chuba Hubbard against the Chiefs. Not playable at all. He doesn't have any choice. He's got to play him. But Jonathan Brooks is back. Chuba Hubbard, bold prediction, under 8 fantasy points against the Chiefs as he struggles all day long. On my side of things, my bold prediction is going to be my man, Christian, that's how the white man runs the football, McCaffrey. And he is going for $150 and 3. Count them, 3 scores, because the Niners absolutely own the Packers, and they were going to have no answer for Christian McCaffrey this week. En route to me getting the easy W over Tony Jr., one of the easiest wins I will have ever had in fantasy, complete and total mauling. Now, we got Jason versus Trey. And he'll set his lineup eventually. He'll probably get Huge in there against the Ravens and Javonte Williams in against the Raiders. I also really like the Steelers D. Trey, you got to get them into your freaking lineup. You got to set your lineup. They're playing tonight, for Christ's sake. On Jason's side of things, he very intelligently picked up Rome Odunze, who I mentioned in the last matchup preview here. Odunze is going to smash, gentlemen. He's going to have a big week. I expect good things. You know who's not going to smash, though? Justin Jefferson, because he's going to have Jalen Johnson just on him like a blanket all day long. Alec Pierce, could go either way. We'll see. It's a gutsy play. I'll say that much for it. Devon Achane might have his best game of the season against New England. He very well might. That's about all I got for Jason's team, but let's go bold prediction. Bold prediction, the Chargers are the first team to hold Derrick Henry out of the end zone this week. Derrick Henry, no touchdown for the first time all season. That's my bold prediction on Jason's team. On Trey's team, bold prediction, Trey actually picks up a tight end that's not on bye. That's my bold prediction for Trey. Who's going to win? Jason. Jason's going to win, and he's going to win handily. Now, Paul versus Jared. Jared getting an absolute bye week here. Paul might as well just change his team name to bye week. If Isaiah Pacheco's active, I don't see how you start Kareem Hunt. I mean, unless you just think the Chiefs are going to beat the Panthers so bad that Kareem Hunt gets carries. I don't know. That very well could be the case, though. But I do think Devonta Smith bounces back this week. Mike Evans, what is it? Not Mike Evans. Jesus Christ. Is that Mike Williams? Didn't he not have a target last week? He did not. He had no targets last week. Yeah, come on. Drop him, pick up somebody playable. This is just freaking ridiculous, man. Bold prediction on Paul's side. Kyler Murray puts up a top 5 fantasy effort at QB this week against Seattle. He's going to have a big week. Paul actually has a chance to win this if he just makes some moves. We'll see what happens, though. Ricky Pearsall, you can cut him loose. Doesn't need to be on your bench anymore. Jake Ferguson can also get cut loose because Cooper Rush can't complete a pass. Now, on Jared's side of things, Puka Nacua, tough matchup against Philly. Their secondary's been fantastic. Not sure it matters that much. Puka's awesome. Marv will be a big part of why Kyler has a big week. What in the holy butthole? Are you really starting Cam Akers and Aaron Jones? What the hell are you doing, dude? Go pick up Jalen Warren and get him into your freaking lineup if it's that bad. Good God. What? I feel like I'm working with children here sometimes. Jared, what the hell are you doing? You can't start Cam. You can barely start Aaron Jones. You can't start Cam Akers too. I'm going to say this for the last time to all you idiots out there. The Bears don't give up a lot of points. Playing 2 running backs against the Bears is stupid. It's almost stupid playing 1 running back against the Bears. Playing 2, I would rather roll out 2 tight ends. This is dumb. So Jared needs to fix that. And for that reason, I'm picking Paul to win this week because Jared doesn't deserve to get the pick being that stupid. That is insanity. Now, Kevin versus the tranny-obsessed Steve. You got big-ass TDs versus Gorlock, Steve's love interest. Bo Nix, man, I love the matchup this week against the Raiders. The only problem is maybe they just, don't need to throw that much. But I expect Bo Nix to do some damage before they get to that point. He'll probably score 20-plus fantasy points. Jaden Daniels ought to get back on the board this week against the Dallas Cowboys on the other side of things. In fact, I'm going to say bold prediction, Daniels and McLaurin hook up for a combined 4 touchdowns. So 2 passing TDs go to McLaurin this week. Zay Flowers, man, you just never know what the hell he's going to do. You have no idea. He could be awesome. He could suck. Don't know. Christian Watson will suck this week. Steve is point chasing, and he's forgetting that 58 of Christian Watson's 150 yards came on a play that wasn't really a catch that the NFL allowed him to keep because it was the Packers playing the Bears, so they just allow the Packers to get away with whatever, as you saw when they cheated to block the field goal. Joe Mixon should continue his run, except he's probably going to twist his ankle this week. He's about due. So look out for that. Joe Mixon probably getting injured this week. Kyren Williams is doing nothing against Philly. He hasn't done shit in a month, and he's going to continue sucking for the foreseeable future. Have you noticed that since Puka and Kupp have been back, Kyren Williams hasn't done shit? Maybe there's some correlation there. I mean, could be wrong. I don't know. We'll see. But I'd be very surprised if Kyren Williams has a good game against the Eagles. Denver's D should smash. Njoku, don't love it against Pittsburgh. And David Montgomery is definitely scoring a touchdown this week. So let's see here. Bold prediction on his side. I'm going to say Christian Watson less than 4 fantasy points. Sorry. That's what's going to happen. Now, on Kevin's side of things, I already told you Daniels to McLaurin is going to smash. Cortland Sutton is going to eat up most of Bo Nix's production. Jordan Addison, kind of a sneaky good start this week. The Bears have a lockdown number 1 corner that's going to be on Jalen Johnson, which means Jordan Addison might be featured in this game. He's a sneaky good start. Brian Robinson Jr., I mean, yeah, get all your Commanders in the pool here. They're playing the Cowboys. They're going to crush it. I'm going to go bold prediction here. Ramondre Stevenson gets in the end zone twice against the Miami Dolphins en route to Kevin beating Steve this week and beginning Steve's series of losing all the way out and missing the playoffs. Now, the Patriarch versus DK Country, otherwise known as the Metamucil Bowl. We have Lamar Jackson versus Baker Mayfield, and I don't know how you can feel confident in Lamar against a tough Chargers defense after he just got shut down last week in a similar spot. I expect Lamar's downfall to continue and lead Senior right out of the first round of the playoffs later on, as I've been saying for weeks. If only somebody would have told him to trade him for a ransom a few weeks ago when he easily could have, he wouldn't be in this scenario, but he is. And so Lamar's going to continue sucking. Baker Mayfield, though, I'm just going to get Joe's bold prediction out of the way right now. Baker to Mike Evans, they're combining for 7 touchdowns. 4 from Baker, 3 are going to Mike Evans. He'll toss 1 to Cade Otton in for good measure. So Baker to Evans is move over Burrow to Chase. You are no longer the number 1 stack. It is Baker to Evans. Mike Evans is Senior's kryptonite, and, we'll get to that in a minute. Jahmyr Gibbs should smoke the Indianapolis Colts. I actually really love J.K. Dobbins against the Ravens. I don't know why. Just a gut feeling that J.K. Dobbins gets in the end zone. Alexander Mattison is 1,000% not playable. He's not even rosterable. I don't even know what he's doing on someone's team. That's downright retarded. I would play Jonnu Smith before I played Alexander Mattison. That's a tough matchup with Denver, and he's not healthy to boot. Good God. I mean, how many points do you think the Raiders are going to score? I wouldn't be shocked if they got shut out. Would you? So, yeah, wouldn't play Madison. Wouldn't even have him on my team. Terrible, terrible play. Now, on the other side of things, James Conner at Seattle, great matchup. He should do well. Josh Jacobs isn't going to do shit against the Niners because he's a terrible running back, and the Niners own the Packers. I do think Jameson Williams pops for a big TD this week, probably 60-plus yarder. Probably when the Lions are up by about 35-plus, because that's what the Lions do. Jaden Reed, I also think he could do well against the Niners. My bold prediction for Senior, though, is A.J. Brown. It is time for him to catch up on some stats. And I think he's going to the tune of 175 yards and 2 TDs this week when he gets loose for 2 bombs. Who's going to win? Senior never beats Mike Evans. We all know it. He's going to lose. Mike Evans defeats Senior for the 1,000th time in a row. And it probably has been that many times. So we kind of go out of our way to trade Mike Evans to whoever's playing Senior. So I went and looked and saw he was playing Senior this week and sent him to Joe. So there you go. And that's your matchup preview. And I will see you guys on Tuesday for my triumphant recap after I destroy Tony Jr. this week. See you later. And happy Thanksgiving, jackasses.